to request for statements. Onesmus Ngogoyo, MP, Kajiado North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the murder of Reverend Julius Ndumia Ngare, Parish Minister of the PCA Tubaga Parish, Nakuru East Presbytery. Honorable Speaker, Reverend Julius Ndumia Ngare was reportedly murdered on the 4th of May 2026 within the PCA Tubaga Parish Church compound in Nakuru North Sub-County, Nakuru County. This heinous and senseless act shocked the nation, the Christian fraternity, and the people of Ongata Rongai, where the late Reverend had been a long-time resident and served as a minister. And served the community for over 25 years. Such acts of violence against religious leaders are deeply disturbing and unacceptable in a constitutional democracy founded on human dignity, equity, and the right to life. Article 26 of the Constitution guarantees every person the right to life. Article 32 protects the freedom of conscience, religion, belief, opinion, and opinion. The killing of a clergyman in the line of duty not only violates these constitutional protections, but also creates fear and insecurity among religious leaders who continue to serve communities across the country. Many members and clergy now feel unsafe and vulnerable while carrying out their pastoral responsibility. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, the circumstances surrounding the murder of Reverend Julius Ndumia Ngare and an update of the status of investigation into the matter. 2, the progress made in identifying, apprehending, and prosecuting the individuals responsible for the heinous act. 3, the measures put in place by the ministry to guarantee the safety, security of clergy and other religious leaders, particularly those serving in isolated and vulnerable areas. And 4, the support being accorded to the bereaved family, the church, congregation, and the wider community affected by the tragic incident. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Ngogoyo, in security. Raso, how soon can you bring a response?
We'll respond in 2 weeks, Honorable.
2 weeks, so be it. Before I call Lea Sankaire, allow me to acknowledge honorable members, the following in the Speaker's Gallery: PCA Kambala School from Molo, Nakuru. When you are called out, if you are in the gallery, you stand up to be acknowledged. PCA Kambala School, Molo. Thank you. Apostolic Carmel School from Makadara, Nairobi. Thank you. In the public gallery, we have St. Teresa's Kutus Girls from Mwea, Kirinyaga. Jenongaiseri School from Kajiado, Central Kajiado. Ngetimoi Girls School from Baringo, Central Baringo. Pwani University from Kilifi North, Kilifi. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Thank you. Next, Lea Sankaire. Lea Sankaire, question deferred. Next, Joyce Kamene, member for Machakos County.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I request for a statement regarding payment of salaries and dues to the former employees of East Africa Portland Cement Company. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Labor regarding the payment of salaries and dues to the former employees of East Africa Portland Cement Company. Honorable Speaker, East African Portland Cement Company Limited is a limited liability company whose core business is production of cement under the brand name of Blue Triangle. The company had entered into a collective bargaining agreement, CBA, dated 19th December 2014 for the period 2012 to 2015 with the unionizable employees through the Kenya Commercial and Allied Workers Union. However, the company failed to effect general wage increase to some unionizable employees as per the CBA, resulting a case between Kenya Commercial and Allied Workers Union versus East Africa Portland Cement Company Limited. Case number 2119 of 2014. Honorable Speaker, the court ruled that East Africa Portland Company was required to pay salary and allowance arrears to its contract employees. Having found that they were wrongfully excluded from the benefits of the CBA that covered permanent staff. Despite this judgment, the affected former employees have for several years been unable to secure reinforcement for a degree for payment for the outstanding arrears of Kenya shillings 1.3 billion. The affected employees are apprehensive that the recent takeover of the East Africa Portland Cement Company by Kalahari Cement following its 27% stake held by National Social Security Fund will potentially jeopardize their payment. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background a request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Labor on the following. A report on the measures put in place to ensure payments for former employees of East Africa Portland Company, considering that Kalahari Cement has taken formal control of the company. Steps being taken by the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection to ensure implementation of the court decree on payment of salaries and dues to former East Africa Portland Cement Company employees, and finally, the timelines within which the East Africa Portland Company will make the payments. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Joyce Kamene, Honorable. Chair Labor. Is that the committee of Alice Nganga? Majority, communicate with the chair to bring a response in 2 weeks.
I will do so. Thank you,
Thank
Honorable
you.
Speaker.
Adewario MP, North Hor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy regarding the delayed development of renewable energy infrastructure in Northern Constituency. Honorable Speaker, Northern Constituency remains among the least electrified regions in the country, despite the fact that access to reliable and affordable electricity supply is a key driver of socio-economic development. In an effort to improve electricity access in the area, the Minister of Energy and Petroleum, through the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy, REREC, commence installation of solar mini grids in Dukana, Ileret, Balesa, and Hurry Hills. In addition, under Kenya Off-Grid Solar Access Project COSAP is implementing another phase of solar mini grids projects in Bubisa, Forole, Elgade, and Gas to further expand electricity connectivity within the constituency. It is, however, regrettable that the mini grids in Dukana, Ileret, and Balesa have remained non-operational for close to 2 years, resulting in prolonged darkness and severely disrupting essential services dependent on electricity in the region. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy on the following. 1, a report on the rationale for continued investment in the solar mini grids in Bubisa, Forole, Elgade, Gas, while the existing mini grids in Dukana, Ileret, and Balesa remain non-operational. And when Dukana, Ileret, and Balesa will have reliable and uninterrupted power supply. Secondly, clarification on the reasons for the non-connectivity of Notor to the Lake Turkana wind power project, despite the proximity of the constituency to the project. Finally, the plans by the Minister of Energy and Petroleum to invest and tap wind and solar power potentials in other constituency and timelines for implementation. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Wario. Chair Energy. Mandazi, are you in the committee? Yes, when can you bring a response?
Honorable Speaker, we'll do the
2
response
weeks.
in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Caroline Ngelechei, member for Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to request for a statement regarding the circumstances surrounding the death of Ms. Sheila Chepkorir Tanui in Australia. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Committee of Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations regarding the circumstances surrounding the death of Ms. Sheila Chepkorir Tanui, a Kenyan citizen in Sydney, Australia. Honorable Speaker, Ms. Sheila Chepkorir Tanui, a 25-year-old Kenyan who hails from Elgeyo Marakwet County, died in Sydney, Australia under unclear circumstances. Her family claims that on the evening of Sunday, 17th May 2026, Australian law enforcement authorities notified them that Ms. Sheila Chepkorir had